Truth of Ruth here. Hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. All right, it is very late, so y'all will probably see this a little later. 50 Cent. 50 Cent is a different type of petty. 50 is a dangerous petty. 50 is not ever, ever, ever forgetting what you did to him, what you said, how you said it. He is taking notes. 50 is doing this right here. So on November 15th, 2025, that's when you thought you could play with me. This is how I am going to destroy your whole existence. Signed, Curtis. What's his last name? Jackson? 50 Cent is, like, his pettiness should be studied. So, y'all know that back and forth that 50 and Marlon Wayans had, and how Marlon basically just shared his opinion on how he felt about the Diddy documentary, and how he felt like, hey, it's kind of like, you should take it with a grain of salt, because this is, a lot of this information is coming from someone who does not like Diddy. So I'm not going to sit here and say that all of the info is true, right? And that's fair, right? It's fair for Marlon to have to share his opinion. Well, y'all, you saw the videos. 50 basically went back and forth on Marlon, trying to find anything he could to put Marlon in a bad light, by basically saying that Marlon is sassy and things of that nature, and finding things on him to just put him in a bad light. So Marlon basically said, hey, you know what, I'm throwing in the towel, dude. Like, I got stuff going on. I don't got time for this. So let's just play a little bit of how Marlon said, you know what, enough is enough, I'm out.
The busy schedule, you found time for a social media beef with 50 Cent. What was it like in the family chat? Were your brothers like egging you on or telling you quit it? Well, what happened? I just said his name. They asked me about the documentary. I was like, I didn't see it. And then they asked me about it, and I just gave my opinion. I was just like, I don't think brothers need to be quarreling in public like that. And then what I get into? A public quarrel with a brother. And I just think it was bad for the culture. And so I kind of backed out. And plus my brothers, so I don't even say that name anymore. If you ask me, hey, you got change of $1, I need a half $1, so you need a half $1.
Got it.
About 5 dimes, 2 quarters. I'll send 2 quarters. How old are you? I'm 43 plus a dime. I will no longer say.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So Marlon basically was like, nah, I'm good. You know what? I got my movie coming up. I'm not trying to do this back and forth with 50 Cent. He got time all day long. And Marlon basically was like, yeah, no, I am not that invested. So, but there's a recent beef between 50 Cent and some rap legends. I don't know if y'all heard of Mano, Fabulous, Jim Jones, and I think Dave East. Dave East, I wouldn't consider like an old school legend, but like, yeah, they all have a podcast, and Dave East is on that podcast also. So Jim Jones, Mano, all of them, like, they shared their opinion about the Diddy documentary, and this is what they said.
Is it acceptable for someone to create a documentary about you without your approval? How would you feel if it happened to you?
It's like,
Definitely not acceptable. It's facetious and petty.
right. It's like somebody putting out your sex tape.
Yeah, if you would have been, yeah, exactly.
It's like
Without your permission, and you're not an actual porno star.
And they doing the lighting wasn't good or nothing.
Yeah, they're
It's
trying to
like,
make you documentary about some like trying to just make your whole character look weak. Like that's petty behavior. Documentary about some like trying to just make your whole character look weak. Like that's petty behavior.
So 50 heard that, obviously, and basically went for war. Okay. So Jim Jones and Mano, where they're having the podcast, they rent the studio that they're having the podcast. And allegedly, the rent is late, honey. The rent is due and been due. So according to the landlord of that property, Jim Jones ain't paid. And so we're going to play
want to rent it. And I said, okay, fine. Right? He's been saying this for since October. And he keeps trying to build it, but he won't sign the lease. He's like, I don't like these terms. I want 6 months of build out. And ridiculous bullshit. We also have a partnership agreement where half of what he's building now, his media, belongs to us. But he won't tell us how much he's making and doing all these things. So half of the content he's creating, if you want to buy that too, I'll sell you half the company.
Child.
He's not a business. He's like insane. To me, it's worth very little to nothing. But if it were out for you, I could throw that in as a sweetener.
Child.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is he signed a lease with me. Right now he owes, I'm going to say it in a short way, at least 80,000, if not 180,000.
Child.
The monthly rent on the old lease, not just want to rent it.
So Jim Jones, now this thing is, so Jim Jones has paid the rent, okay? So according to that landlord, Jim Jones owes that the back rent, and it totals up to 180K, right? Now, Jim Jones did pay the rent. He gave the landlord 200K, okay? The reason why this is alleged, the reason why he gave that rent is because 50 went to his, I think, IG and said, hey, I'm gonna buy buy the studio that you're doing your podcast in. I can't even. I just think it's hilarious. How are you this petty? So, all right. So he says, so Jim wired the 200. This is 50. So Jim wired the 200K over. Okay, cool. He may turn out to be a good tenant after all. Samuel is the landlord. Samuel, if you need me to make them pay, just give me a ring. I'm here. I cannot, child. Like 50, your pettiness should be studied, child. Like, so because 50 basically said, hey, I'm going to buy the studio that you're doing your little podcast in, so you can continue doing your little podcast. Jim basically said, oh, no, okay? And hurried up and scurried up them the ones to pay that rent, okay? Because who wants 50 Cent as your landlord? And you know good and well, 50 don't care for none of y'all no more after what y'all said about his dearly beloved documentary about Diddy. So, okay, child, this is crazy because I feel like 50, is this how you gonna do? You gonna strong arm your way? You know what? I remember when 50 first came out and people said that 50 was the boogeyman. They said, oh no, he's the boogeyman. Like, you just really don't want to get down dirty with him because he'll never ever let you get peace. But 50 been doing this because y'all remember how he did Ja Rule. He just went, he likes to do this. 50 really likes to do this right here and just, he did it to Ja Rule. He did it to what's his name? Fat Joe. He did it to Rick Ross. 50 really has the time. He has the time and the patience to pick and pick and pick until he finds pick at you until he finds that that sensitive spot to have you lose control and go at him and and boom and thug it out. So it's just a crazy thing. And so now 50 and Christian Combs, okay, so apparently Christian Combs is done, okay. He's tired of 50 Cent. He tired of 50 messing with his daddy. He tired of that raggedy documentary, and he wants to slap 50. And I quote, what he said? He said, let's see. Christian Combs said, child, listen. Christian said, he vows the next time we say, on my dad, if I ever see 50 Cent, I'll slap the F out of him. Christian, you not gonna slap 50 Cent. You're just not going to. Christian, you not slapping 50. You not. Now, I know, you won't go, I know you love your dad, you know what I mean? I would do the same thing. Like, I don't want nobody, but it probably would not be a good idea, sweetie. Like, so you know that saying, like, you gonna walk over, but you're gonna limp back. Like, that's not, I mean, I think 50 would probably beat you like you're his son. You know what I mean? Like, you would get a whooping, one of them old fashion whoopings where they pulling like a switch. I mean, a little like a stick or something off of the tree and whooping you with it. One of them hard, rusty looking like like sticks, or a old leather belt. It's just one of your daddy's old leather belt with a thick buckle, and the buckle just be this big of a buckle and that wide. Like, you probably, that's not a good idea, but I understand you love your dad, and you know what I mean, you had enough. So 50 said, and I quote, little bro, first, close your mouth when you take pictures, because you know how like people say, like, some people are juicy mouthed. Like, like Christian Combs always look like he holding like a little extra saliva on the bottom of his mouth. Like, he's very like he holds it all like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's just him. Like, I don't know if he has like extra teeth on the bottom, but so so 50 said, close your he says, close your mouth when you take pictures. I've been rich 3 different times, sold records, sold shows, sold liquor, sold power. You still living on Wi-Fi and legacy. I can't. Like, you know what, 50, that's that boy's daddy you talking about, though. Of course he gonna have that. He gonna have that passion for his daddy. I would too. So I understand why he thinks he could smack you. It is what it is. That's his daddy. You know what I mean? I mean, what does this mean? Does this mean that anybody in the public eye, if they should so happen to fix their lips in saying something negative about the Diddy documentary or anything that 50 got going on, then off with your head? Well, that's not fair, 50. Right? That's not fair. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this. Like, I feel like, now that, see, okay, I'm going to say this though. I feel as if like 50 feels like there is a way for him, because Diddy's in jail now, right? There's more money to be made, and he's basically going, yeah, you good, yeah, I'm trying to get right there, and then boom. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he has a goal, but we don't see, because there's one person that I noticed that 50 don't talk about that much. Well, he does, but he doesn't. And that's Jay-Z. But we'll talk about it later. Y'all let me know. Put down in the comments how y'all feel about this whole situation. Do y'all think that 50 is a Hollywood bully, the Hollywood bully, the industry bully? What do y'all feel about this? Let me know. Put it down in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I'll see y'all later. Bye.